The time is 12 o'clock and here's the media news. First, the top stories. NBTE to determine the fate of Ogun State Polytechnic in Bokia next week. Buhari orders Pari loan refund, ask governors to pay salary arrears. Tripartite committee inaugurated to negotiate national minimum wage. Governor Amina Masari seeks stricter regulation of the social media. Saudi Arabia vows to rid the world of Islamic terrorism. Bangladesh court says 139 soldiers to die for 2009 mutiny. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing the news in details shortly. The National Board of Technical Education (NBTE) is to determine the fate of the newly established Tobi State Polytechnic in Bokia next week. Secretary to the State Government Taiwo Adeoluwa told newsmen after the meeting of the State Executive Council meeting at the Governor's office, Okemoso, Abeokuta, that officials of the examination body will visit the site of the Polytechnic still under construction. Adeoluwa explained that Governor Bikola Moson will receive the team on Monday next week in Abeokuta before leading them to the site of the Polytechnic at Bokia. The state government, according to him, hopes the examination board would approve the license for the takeoff of the institution. Speaking on the project, Managing Director of the State Property and Investment Corporation OPIC, Jide Odusholu, assures that the necessary infrastructure for the Polytechnic will be ready ahead of the visit. President Muhammad Buhari has approved the payment of the last tranche of the Paris-London Club's loan deduction refund to the state government. Buhari directed the Central Bank of Nigeria, Finance, Budget and National Planning Ministries to engage the state governors in the payment of the 50% balance of the loan refund before December 31. The president, who issued the directive at a meeting with the state governors at the presidential villa Abuja, however, asked the governors to ensure the payment of salary arrears owed workers before Christmas. The governors at the last meeting with Buhari last October 17 have pleaded for the release of the 50% balance of the loan deduction refund for inclusion in the 2018 budget. Meanwhile, the state governors have already agreed to pay the salaries owed workers on the payroll of the various governments before Christmas, as directed by President Muhammad Buhari. They, however, say this will be possible only if Buhari effects the payment of the balance of 50% of the Paris London loan deduction to them before Christmas. Governor Richard Okorosha made this known to the State House correspondent after the meeting with state governors with Buhari at the presidential villa Abuja. Governor Nasser El-Rufai, however, says the clearance of all the salary arrears, as directed by the president, may not be possible. He says this is because some of the state governments whose salary debt is huge cannot clear them before Christmas. A committee set up by the National Judicial Council to supervise fresh trial of outstanding corruption cases is now in possession of files of 2,306 corruption cases. To kickstart the trial, the Corruption and Financial Crimes Cases Trial Monitoring Committee is to meet with top leaders of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. NJC spokesman Soji Oye says the committee has set up subcommittees to fast-track the trial and monitoring of the corruption cases. The breakdown of corruption cases received by the monitoring committee include 347 from state in the north, 1,405 from state in the south, and 554 from Abuja zone. Already some judges from Federal High Court have been appointed by the National Judicial Council to handle corruption cases in designated special corruption courts nationwide. President Muhammad Buhari has inaugurated a committee to negotiate a new national minimum wage for Nigerian workers. The 30-member tripartite committee is made up of members from the federal government, Nigeria Governors Forum, as well as the organized labor and the private sector. Buhari, inaugurating the committee at the presidential villa Abuja, admitted that the current national monthly minimum wage of 18,000 naira has expired, but asked the committee to negotiate in good faith. The president urged them to consider the interests of the workers, the wage that the economy could accommodate, and the financial capability of each tier of government. The committee, headed by former Housing Minister Ama Pepo, has Labour and Productivity Minister Senator Chris Ngige as Deputy Chairman, while Chairman of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, Richard Egwe, as the Secretary. The state governments are represented by Imo, Osho, Kebbi, Plateau, Rivers, and Gombe State. South-South and Southeast Governors Forum has called for an increase in the monthly allocation to the two regions from the Federation account. The forum made the call at its meeting held at the Upper Ibom State Government House in Uyo on Sunday night. Chairman of the forum, Governor Emmanuel Udom, speaking to newsmen at the end of the meeting, expressed concern that the monthly allocation is yet to reflect the ongoing rise in the price of crude oil in the world market. The increase, according to him, is necessary due to the financial crisis faced by the state government when the oil price crashed. They also asked the presidency to hand over all federal roads in the two regions to the state government in the regions. In attendance at the meeting were governors of Rivers, Imo, Delta, Abia, Enugu, and Abia State, as well as the deputy governors of Anambra and Cross River State. Governor Mino Mesari of Katsina State has advocated stricter control of the social media as well as telecommunication and information communication technology sectors. The use of social media and ICT, according to the governor, is breaching personal privacy and national security. Mesari made a call in Katsina while receiving members of the National Communication Commission led by the Communications Minister Adebayo Shitu at the Government House in Katsina, blaming the incidents on the failure of regulatory agencies to properly do their jobs. The governor expressed concern about the abuse of the social media and the emphasis of telecommunication operators on maximum profit at the expense of national security. The governor also says hackers using other people's phones and social media accounts to extract money are posing major threat to national security. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sport news. Please stay with us. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia has vowed to rid the world of all Islamic terrorists to join the first meeting of a new military alliance. Mohammed bin Salman signaled his intent to increase the fight against terrorism just days after jihadists slaughtered over 300 people at a mosque in Egypt. Speaking at a meeting of a new Islamic coalition in Riyadh, he promised to bring moderate Islam to the Middle East region, adding that the greatest danger of extremist terrorism is in distorting the reputation of the tolerant religion of Islam. The coalition is made up of 41 largely Sunni-majority countries and describes itself as a pan-Islamic united front against violent extremism. Shia-majority countries, including Iran, Iraq, and Syria, are not included in the coalition. The High Court in Bangladesh has upheld the verdict by trial court sentencing 139 border guards to death for their actions in the 2009 mutiny, in which 74 people, including 57 military commanders, were killed. The trial court sentenced 152 people to death in 2013, but in response to an appeal, the High Court commuted the sentences for 8 of them to life in prison and acquitted 4 others. Another man died during the 370 days of proceedings before Monday's High Court verdict. A total of 846 people, mostly border guards, are facing trial. The border guard mutiny on February 25 to 26 of 2009 took place 2 months after the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, took office. Hasina returned to power in 2014. A 3-member panel of High Court judges said in issuing its verdict that the border guards were most brutal and cold-blooded murderers. In business, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria says the high duty rate on imported finished products is scaring indigenous investors from investing in the country. Man President Dr. Frank Jacobs, who spoke in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, on the sidelines of the commissioning of syringes and needles complex, puts the cumulative duties on imported finished products to the country at 30%. Dr. Jacobs explained that in some countries, duties on imported finished products are just 5%. He urges governments to reduce the import duty rates to encourage more people to delve into manufacturing, thus creating more jobs. Finally, in the media news, sport news. Organizers of the ITO CAF Awards have shortlisted Victor Moses for African Player of the Year award. It also released the nominees for other categories, with Super Eagles and their coach General Alalis Junior Ajayi, Asisa Toshona, and the Ferocious Falconet all up for awards. Moses was listed among 11 others from the previous 30 announced a few weeks back. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Naby Keita were also listed among others. Alalis forward Junior Ajayi was also shortlisted for the African Player of the Year award based in Africa, alongside teammate Ali Morul and Ahmed Fati. Super Eagles technical advisor General is also in line for the Coach of the Year, going alongside Egypt's Hector Couper, Cameroon's Hugo Bruce, Hussein Amota, and Mihayo Kazembe. Super Falcons forward Asisa Toshona, who's been massively influential in China, has four other women to beat to the Women's Football of the Year prize. The Falconets was also recognized and nominated for the Women's National Team of the Year award. Nigerian Football Federation NFF has offered the Super Eagles coach General a new 2-year contract extension. The Federation President Amadio Pinnick made this known during the unveiling of NFF new sponsors in Lagos on Monday. Pinnick says agreements have been reached and are waiting the legal parts to be concluded. The Franco-German signed a 2-year deal in 2016. Under Coach Raw, the Super Eagles have qualified for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. That was the media news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. NBTE to determine the fate of Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia next week. Buhari orders Paris loan refund, asks governors to pay salary arrears. Tripartite committee inaugurated to negotiate national minimum wage. Governor Misari seeks stricter regulation of the social media. On the foreign scene, we told you that Saudi Arabia has vowed to rid the world of Islamic terrorism. A Bangladeshi court says 139 soldiers are set to die for 2009 mutiny. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good afternoon.